our first Be Human live stream. So just wait a minute or two for people to join in here. Frankly, this is our first live stream, so we are figuring it out as we go. All right, cool. So if you guys can see and hear me, put a message in the chat so I know we're good to start. And while we wait, I'll just explain a little bit about what Be Human is and why we exist and what our mission is. And it really comes down to human connections at scale. And I like to think that human connections at scale is really our product more than AI personalized videos. So how I started Be Human going back a few years ago, I was running a lead generation agency, and I was booking meetings on behalf of our clients with Fortune 500 executives and directors at large companies whose time was really, really valuable. And they were really tough to get a meeting with those kinds of people. And so, as a result, I had to innovate because the average cold email, the average LinkedIn message, outbound automated, it wasn't working anymore. And so I had to innovate. I started to play around with filming these video messages. So I would literally, use my phone and record hundreds of video messages a day saying something like, hey, Jack, how's it going? Dawn with whatever client it was, give the pitch, do the call to action. And then same thing for Rob, same thing for Jack and Michael, and so on and so forth. And it actually worked, but I realized that it wasn't truly scalable. So it was around that time that I thought, all right, well, how could I scale this with technology? And I know video works because people think that I'm talking directly to them, right? If they see me say their name, talk about their company, maybe show their website or their LinkedIn profile on my screen, then they know that the message is truly for them, not for 1,000 other people, as is the case when you receive a cold email that is just one big blast, right? So with that being said, one thing led to another, started to develop this video technology and started to get reach outs from people in other industries. So had a healthcare group reach out to us and say, hey, we need a way to talk to our patients at scale, but that still looks like we're reaching out to them on a one-to-one level. This looks really interesting. Let's talk, right? Same thing from a politician. We had car dealerships reach out to us, right? That's when I realized this is much bigger than just, hey, I got a way to book meetings, right? This is really changing the game, changing the way communication works at scale. So that's really how this all got started. Um, with that being said, let's dive in. So I'm going to take you through the format of how this live stream will go. Again, this is our first live stream, so we'll adapt. But we'll start with a quick walkthrough of the platform from start to finish. I'll show you how to make a video, how to personalize it, declare your variables, and generate some personalized AI videos from that template, and then actually send those out either through email or SMS. We may also dive into Zapier briefly. Then I'll talk about the roadmap, the features that you guys have requested, and what's coming up for the platform. And finally, we'll go into a questions and answers segment. So with that being said, let me share my screen and we'll dive in. All right, perfect. So when you come on to Be Human, you'll be met with this screen here. And there's really two ways to proceed. The first is you can hit clone myself, which will enable you to record yourself, clone your voice, and start to generate personalized videos of your own image. The second option is to use templates. And if we click this, we'll be brought to the community template section. And these are a collection of different videos from actors. We even have some celebrities available here. You need to get in touch with us to get those videos to see what those are. We do have celebrities in here if you want to use them as well. We have Jay Jackson from Parks and Recreation, and we have David Henry from How I Met Your Mother, from Wizards of Waverly Place, and tons of other shows. So if you want access to those, just send us an email at help@BHuman.ai. Those actors have to look at your use case to make sure they're okay with being associated with your brand. obviously to protect their image. But in the meantime, right, we have these options here. So if we don't want to record ourselves, we just want something out of the box that we can, in a couple clicks, use and deploy. Well, then we've got it here. So let's say, for example, a bunch of stale leads that I wanted to check in with. Well, I can open this up and we can use this template. And I'll play this so you get a sense of what it says.
Hi, Name. How's wanted to get in touch and see if you're still interested in working with us.
Okay, so the variable here, like she said, is hey name. I could use this in an automated way so that whenever there's a new lead in my CRM, let's say a couple months, if they are stale, right, I can use this to automatically reach out to them. Or I could, maybe if I have a batch of old leads, I can use this and send it out right away. So I can hit use this template, and then you'll see that we were presented with this option here. So how do we want to actually connect our data? So we can upload a CSV file. We could use Zapier to integrate this in a native fashion. Like I mentioned, let's say it's Pipedrive, which is a CRM, right? I can make that all happen. For now, I'm going to use the blank. It's kind of like a playground, right? It's where we can either just run a couple of tests or we can import 5,000 rows and run a big batch of data. So this is usually the place that you'll work in addition to Zapier. So, just for the sake of example, I'll go ahead and generate a video for James and for Henry, and let's do Vish and Mike, okay? And that's literally all I have to do. From there, I just press generate. And now you have these videos are starting to generate, right? So it really is that easy. And of course, if I had a spreadsheet with all of my customer data, maybe I had their phone number, their email, right? All those different things, I could put that in here and it would still run perfectly. As long as we have data for what that first name is, then we're good to go. So this will take about 2 minutes to process. The way that it works is that one video takes about 2.5 minutes. But when you have like 1,000 videos, it takes about 30 minutes. So, it scales rather quickly. Once the AI system gets warmed up, then it'll produce, a lot of videos at scale pretty quickly. So while that's running, I'm going to come back and check the chat and see if there are any questions so far. Okay, so I see there's a delay. I'm not getting the chat from LinkedIn. That's why I'm not seeing your messages, but let me pull it up right now. Yep, blank spreadsheet demo. You've got it. Okay, I'll have to come back and check the LinkedIn chat. Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and this is still running. Let me share my screen again. Starting to get results in. So you can see the result for Vish just came in. The rest here are processing. And the way this works is by default, all videos that are generated are put onto Vimeo for you right away. The whole purpose here is so that you can go ahead and share these with your customers or with whoever you're talking to right away. There's no need for you to think about, okay, where do I host the video? Is this host going to be white labeled or is it going to be blacklisted by different email servers, right? There's all these complex, annoying details that nobody wants to think about that, we just take that off your hands. So we host it with Vimeo. We do have the option to give you the direct link to the video as well. So if you want that, we can do that for you as well. So if I check this out for Vish, it'll probably say still uploading on Vimeo. Let's take a look. Yep, still uploading. So just give it another minute here. Okay, so Corey asked, when attempting to record the voice originally, would not let me record my names individually. Oh, I see what you're saying. So Corey, you're saying you clone your voice and then you wanted to record the names manually, so you didn't want to use the clone voice. Did I understand you correctly? Yeah, I am. I'm in this platform called Restream that goes live on LinkedIn and other places. So there's a little bit of a delay. But the way it works right now, and we're making an update to this, but either when you record your name here with the microphone button, right? Let's just say, for example, I had Mary, right? And I hit this microphone button. Hi, Mary. Okay. That soundbite is now going to be stored. And whenever Mary comes up, it'll automatically default to me saying, Hi, Mary. Um, Now, if there was a name that I didn't have that recording of, let's say it's Marianne. I didn't have that recording of Marianne that I just did manually. Then it would use the voice generation, the voice cloning to make me say, hey, Marianne, or whatever the phrase is. Okay. So if you had, so you're saying you did that, but it used the voice cloning sounds like that was your problem. So we will check that out, but I know this is the way that we intend to do it. There might be an update coming for that. So we prefer to use your own recording, of course, because it's actually your voice. You don't have to try to recreate something. Okay. So it looks like these videos are finishing up. Okay, here we go. We have our first result. So let's check out. So let's check out another one here. Still uploading. And after this, we'll go ahead and we'll use one of our own recordings. Okay, let's check out for Henry. So that one was definitely a bit better. And let's take a look at James. Okay. All right, Corey, we'll definitely get back to you on that. I know we had someone else reported a similar thing where the automated voice was being used instead of their manually recorded one. So let me after this, I'll check in to see what the status of that is. I'll get back to you. Okay, take a look at James, and we'll do our own recording. Awesome. Cool. All right. So now let's go back and let's use our own recording. So the process here is pretty simple. And this is really where the magic happens. I mean, we're really about cloning yourself. The template store is a nice way to get started without, having to be in front of the camera, but this is where the magic really happens. So you'll notice I have a few cloned voices. I have actually a lot of here, right? I have Mark, I have Amanda, I have Alex, I have Dawn. But the ones that are highlighted are the ones where there's a voice clone. And you can see my voice quota, right, is 3 out of 3, which means that I have 3 actors in a voice clone. So you can have as many actors as you want, meaning like, let's say I have someone from the team, right, and they want to be in the video on my account, I would make an actor profile for them. But I can only use a voice clone for, at least according to the plan I'm on right now, 3 actors. So with that being said, let's choose an actor. You'll notice that I have Dawn and I have Dawn living room, and you may be asking why I have 2 voice clones for one person. So where you do your voice clone is really important. So if you do your voice clone, in a room where there's echo versus, let's say you do it, outside or something like that, right? The acoustics will be very different. So, and then all that gets built into your voice clone, right? So we want to be very aware and cognizant of where we're doing our voice clone to make sure it matches where we record our video. So right now, right, I'm not at the office, so I'll be using. Hope that makes sense. If I was at the office, I'd be using the one from the office. So let's hit create AI videos, and let's give this a name. So I'm going to say, just for the sake of this example, I could go ahead and I could record myself by using the web browser here. And you can see that would pop up my camera. Or I could go back and I could use even my smartphone actually. So this would pull up a QR code that I scan, then that'll pop that, onto my phone, and I can go from there. For now, I'm going to go ahead and upload a video that I recorded this morning. So I'll hit upload. We'll go ahead and we'll drag a file in. Kareem, can you? So it sounds like you can hear when I play. I'm not sure if my sound is being streamed correctly. This is our first live stream, so apologize if there's some sound issue. I can certainly put all the generated links in the chat for you guys to look at after. Um, and then, yeah, Corey. So in terms of lip movements, you know, it really is sort of learning what the AI likes best. And in fact, like sometimes, just me using it, I'll shoot and this is transcribing. So this is, while this is going, I'll talk about that. A lot of times, like when I'm doing a recording, sometimes it'll work great. Like I'll record a template, I'll run a sample, put in, a couple of names, and it looks great, perfect, good to go. Sometimes though, it's true, like the lips do look a bit funny, and all that really depends on the lighting, big factor. Distance is one thing. You'll notice like the camera that I have it set up here is a couple feet away from me. So you want it to be decent distance, right? We don't want it to be like just right in front of our face. But really lighting is the major thing. And you have to experiment with it to be completely transparent. It's kind of like AI is this black box. Like we can kind of guess and make predictions about what it likes, but you don't really know for sure until you run a test. So typically soft lighting that's not too harsh. So you don't want to be like standing directly in front of a window. That's going to be too much light. You want it to be maybe just a tiny bit dim, even. But I really recommend experimenting with it, just because everyone's face is different too, right? So the way it perceives my face under a certain light might be different for you or anybody else, and so there really is a factor of experimentation and learning what the AI likes. Okay. All right, so now you'll see that it actually wrote down the whole script that I just had from the video I uploaded. All right. So at this point, we have our script here. We have to decide, all right, what words do we want to personalize? So I'll go ahead and looking at the script here, I say, hey, name, going, yada, yada, yada. And the only variable I have in this whole script is name. So name is the word I want to change. Let's highlight it. And let's type like first name. So I'm creating that variable, giving it a name. Hit next. All right, now same thing. How do I want to move forward? How do I want to connect my data to generate the videos? A couple of options: upload a CSV file. We could use Zapier, which is incredibly powerful. Like I definitely recommend you use web-based campaigns as much as possible, which is where user action triggers a video. We'll talk about that a bit more. Or we can use a blank spreadsheet. Let's go back to the spreadsheet. So Corey asks, is there a way to upload a text message, or do you have a video, voice, record everything? Okay. So you're asking, can I have just like text and then from there get a video out? So we don't offer that right now. And the reason is that, the number one thing about BHuman, I mean, it's kind of in the name, right? We want it to look human, like you just recorded the video. And the whole reason for that is when your customer gets a video from you that looks real, they're going to be blown away, and the engagement rate will go through the roof, as opposed to if they think it's fake. I'll talk about it in a second, but let me just go ahead. I'll throw some names in here. So let's say Corey. We're talking to Corey in the chat. Let's say Corey. Let's say Carolyn, Jamie, and I'll put in, because we're going to actually send these out. So I'll put in an email here. I'll just put in one of our emails. Cool. So same thing, go ahead, hit generate. And I could easily just, copy and paste it in a big list of customer data as well. Yeah, I appreciate that, Richard. Okay, so coming back to, Corey's question. Well, I don't want to be in front of the camera, right? I mean, who does? I just want to upload. I want to have a list of text and I want to get a video out of that. And, technically speaking, we could do that. Thing is that, the whole point of BHuman is that when your customer gets a video, they feel like you just recorded it for them, right? And the whole point of that is that they think that there's a genuine human connection happening where you are talking directly, specifically to them, right? Of course, we know it's all automated. This was sent out while you were sleeping, right? Or while you were out to lunch. But for the customer, it feels incredibly personal and it feels like there's a genuine connection being made, which really just engages this law of reciprocity where they feel like, all right, now I have to, respond. I at least owe it to this person who took the time to record and send me a video message. So that's why we've, designed the system the way that we've designed it. We let that be the North Star, and then all the engineering followed that, core principle of the videos have to look real. And in fact, right now, you and I, we know that we're personalizing the first name. So, we're staring like a hawk when we say, "Hey, Corey," right? We're watching that. Um, but in reality, the average, receiver of these videos, they get it on their phone on the go or so on and so forth. And so, as a result, they never, we've sent out over 1 million videos, have never gotten anybody who said that, hey, I don't think you really recorded this or anything like that, right? We've seen incredible results. Like, I think one time we had a campaign that did 70% response rate. That was over SMS, incredibly powerful. So yeah, at the end of the day, that's what we're all about. Okay, and had someone let me know that we're not hearing audio from the video that's playing. So while this is processing, I'm going to check the settings here and see how we could fix that. Okay. What I'll do, because frankly, I'm not sure how to fix that sound thing right now. What I'll do is I'll put the links that I just generate on this live stream into the chat as they generate. Okay, another question from Corey. So Corey asks, how much time do we need to go from hi first name before we start our second phrase or sentence? Great question. Yeah. So, we do want your variables to be in short phrases. The whole reason for this is because when you say, for example, hey name, how's it going? This is Don with BHuman. And then you highlight name as your variable. What we're actually doing, you may think we're just replacing name, right? Instead of hey name, we're going to say hey Corey. But in reality, our AI is searching for the phrase that the variable is contained. So actually, the whole phrase we're replacing is hi name. Okay. So if you had a script that was like, hey name, how's it going? This is Don. I want to talk to you about something super cool. Well, then the AI is like, okay, got to replace that whole thing because there were no pauses. So basically, Corey, fantastic question. How long do we need to sort of wait? Do we need to pause for the AI to pick that up? You know, there's no hard rule, but I would say like around a half second, maybe a second. As long as there's silence, that's really the most important thing. Um, so that's how that would work. If I was going to use two variables in a script, it might say something like, "Hey name, how's it going? This is I'm from BHuman here. I was looking over your site. You're doing some really interesting things, and I love company. So that's why I wanted to reach out." And then, company would be a variable, which would actually be replaced with the whole phrase, "I love Microsoft. I love Apple." And then, of course, the first name would be, say Joe. So it'd be, "Hey Joe," right? So, a slight pause around the phrases that the variables are contained within. I know that may sound complex, but once you get the hang for the platform and you experiment a bit, it'll make total sense. Okay. Like I said, I'll paste these links in. Okay, so let's check this out. I'll go ahead and put this in the chat for you guys. So there's one. Perfect. So put those links in there so you guys can see it. So that's in the LinkedIn chat for you. Cool. So from now, I have these videos. All right, that's great, but how do I actually get these to my customers? So if you open up this drop-down link, you'll see that we have a couple options here. So congrats, your videos have generated. Now what? Well, you can either download this as a CSV file, which just did that. Takes this whole table, downloads it. So if I put in my customer here, right, if maybe they had their, what product they purchased or their address, or I would then have all my links as a row right there. So I could download it and then I could do whatever I want. I could upload it to my CRM, do whatever I want with it. Alternatively, what I really like is a feature called Send It For Me, which is where we can actually, looking at your data, as long as there's a column for email and a column for phone, we can send this out over SMS. So let's start with email. We do this, directly on the platform for you. So really easy to deploy this. So let's select an email and show you add email. We'll go to settings and go to email access. And it's really, really simple. All I have to do is, put in an email here. What's the name that it's from? And then the address that the email is associated with. You can see I added my email, BHuman.ai here. So that's the one we selected. And then we want to say, okay, how long do we want to wait to deliver each email we want, just so it doesn't look like spam, right? So I'd recommend maybe 10 seconds in between each email. And then from there, let's go ahead and let's put a subject line in. So something like, and then I can select first name. Now, this is grabbing it directly from my data, right? So if I had another column on that spreadsheet that was city, right, I could tag that in here. I can mention that if I want to. So first name, shot this video for you. Okay. And then that's the subject. Great. So now let's talk about the body of the email. So suggested placeholder for you. So hey, first name again, right, about your product. You could talk about whatever you want. For the sake of this demo, I'll just say, check out what I just filmed for you. Let me know what you think, right? And then I'll click the video button, which will embed the video in the email for us. And then I can go ahead and email. Before I send this out to everyone, we always recommend sending a test email. So this will take the first row of you and send it to this test email. Okay, while that's sending, let me check the chat. So Corey asks, if there's another variable, it would be join us at 8 p.m. Do we just say 8 p.m. EST or just 8 p.m.? And when you do the variable, you say the time, and will it change if you manually record the time for the respective name in a different time zone? Wow. So all those details, you could basically do it the way you want to. I'll give you an example. Let's say there's a script that was like, hey, name, how's it going? BHuman will have its first stream, and it's coming right up at 8 p.m. time zone. Okay, that was my phrase, right? 8 p.m. time zone. Now, all I need to do is replace, click time zone, make that my time zone variable. Well, actually, okay, it wouldn't be 8 p.m. everywhere. So actually, I would highlight 8 p.m. time zone as my variable, because that's the thing we want to change. So oftentimes, it could be that your variable is more than just one word. So in Corey's example, very good example, 8 p.m. time zone is the variable. And then in the spreadsheet, or wherever I'm putting data to connect to BHuman, it could be in Zapier as well. I'll be putting in 8 p.m. Eastern, or let's say 6 p.m. Mountain Time, right? And all that would then replace that whole phrase. So I hope that answers your question, Corey. Cool. So it looks like the email was sent out. So I'm going to check it out. Perfect. So let me go ahead and I'll share the screen on my email. Okay. So you see this example here just came in. So hi, Corey, because that was the first name we had in our spreadsheet. Just shot this video for you. And of course, we embedded the video in the email. All your user has to do is click it and then play it. And this sample I put in the LinkedIn chat so you guys can watch it as well. So that's really all there is to it. And if I'm going to send out all these, I just hit send all, and then that fires out. Okay, so obviously this will take, right, because I said 10-second delay. So if I'm sending 3 emails, it'll take 30 seconds. So I'll just leave this page open. But that's how the email SMS sending, super similar process, basically the same thing. We're selecting a phone number, and then in the single text itself, same thing. So, hey, first name, and then we could even use like the other tag. So, is email a good place to reach you? Just shot this video, share my ideas. Okay, and then similar thing, I could do a test SMS. I'll put my number in here, and that'll get sent out. And in a moment, it should arrive on my phone. So, this is a really, really easy way to deploy your videos as soon as you make them. All right. Yep, perfect. So we just got the text message to my phone, and I'm not sure if you could see this, but there I am right there. So came out really nice. All right, excellent. So now I would like to talk about, a little bit about the roadmap and what's to come, and then we'll go to a Q&A session. So Corey asked, the more names in the spreadsheet, the longer for the process. Yes, however, it does ramp up really quickly. So if you have one, to produce one variable. Oh, maybe you're asking if there's more variables in a video. So that also is a yes. So for example, let's say you had one variable in one video and you wanted to generate it. That might take like 2 minutes, maybe a minute and a half. If you had 3 variables in one video, it might take 2.5 minutes because there's more for the AI to do. But then let's say you wanted to generate 1,000 videos. Well, you would think, okay, that's going to take 2,000 minutes. No, it actually scales really quickly. So that'll take maybe like 30, 35 minutes. And we're always working on making this faster and faster and faster. Okay, cool. So yeah, so that's a little bit about the platform as it stands today. And now I wanted to get into a little bit about the roadmap and what we have coming up. So one thing that's been, really, really requested is LinkedIn automation. So just like I showed you, okay, it's really easy to send these videos out over email or SMS. Well, I want to do the same thing over LinkedIn, and I want to do it to connections that I haven't, people I haven't yet connected with. So new connection requests, as well as people I'm already connected with, people in my network. So we're coming out with a LinkedIn automation tool that'll be put in the platform itself, so you can integrate both really tightly together. That's called Leader, and basically how that works is you're able to put in a search from a LinkedIn URL. So let's say you have a list of all your prospects you want to reach out to. Put that into the platform. You select which video you want to send to them. You put in what message you want to send, along with that video, and then hit start, and it'll just start sending out. You can set how many you want to send out a day. We recommend like 40 or 50 a day from one LinkedIn account. The nice thing is though is you can add as many LinkedIn accounts as you want, so you could scale it, right? So you could have 100 LinkedIn accounts, all on Leader on our platform, sending personalized video, and that's an incredible way to scale your cold outreach. And so that's Leader. We have a voice clone update that actually was just released this morning. So if you've tried the platform, let's say last week, you'll notice that if you generate videos today, your voice will be much, much, much better quality, sounding much more human. And we only require 25 phrases now, not 60. So that's a really nice thing. And then we have, like I mentioned, I know all the videos are hosted on Vimeo. We're also going to give you the option in another column on that spreadsheet will be the direct S3 link. So if you want to save this to your machine, if you want to put this into your own, drive or cloud storage, and, if you're more technically advanced, that's an option for you as well. We have background mode. This is actually really, really cool. So I'm going to log into the dev version of our platform to show you this. Basically we can put backgrounds behind us and really get super creative with it, and it's all dynamic. So I'll show you an example, and this is not released yet, so I'm giving you a little sneak peek. So I'm going to find, actually I'll use the same video I just used for the example before. I'll select my actor, highlight my variable, okay, and then this is new though, I'm going to put in LinkedIn here, and let's say this is for, for Dawn, and I'll put in my LinkedIn handle, right? So for me, it's Dawn-Bosco. Let me just make sure that's right. Yep. Okay. And then if I hit this, you can see open background menu. Okay. Now I can say what kind of video, what kind of thing is this that I want to put in the background. So is it a direct link to an image or a video? Is it a website that I want to publicly screenshot? So if I put like apple.com in here, it'll take a screenshot of Apple and then put it behind me. So you could use this for all your prospects, put all the websites in here. In this case, I use a LinkedIn URL. And let's see, I'm probably showing wrong. Not sharing my screen, just a second. Okay, there we go. Now I'm showing my right screen. So in this case, I'm putting in a LinkedIn URL. And then I say, okay, how long do I want to show this background behind me? So you can get really creative and you can storyboard. So I can say, all right, I want to show the LinkedIn profile for the first 10 seconds. And then I want to go and I want to show like a video walkthrough of my platform, or, go through a presentation of my deck. And, of course, your script would match that to be like, hey, man, I'm looking at your LinkedIn profile. I really love what you do. I want to show you how we can help you, blah, blah, blah. Go on with your pitch. Let me show you our deck, or let me show you our platform. Or I can make it the full duration of the video. Just for this example, just to show, how you can make it work. I'll say it started at 0 seconds. And then let's say 5 seconds in, I'm just going to come back to the video. Let's go ahead and generate this. And while we do that, Keith asks, is there an API available for our customized CRM to automate this process for email and/or text? So yes. So there's Zapier, like I mentioned. We do have an API coming out most likely towards the end of this week, around Thursday, Friday. Actually, you could do a lot with this API. So there's a lot of people asking, can I white label BHuman? And the answer is basically, look, we'll give you our API access as flexible as possible. And what you do with that, is sort of, your prerogative. And, we're here to help and support. We want you to be as creative as possible. So Keith, the short answer is yes. Well, we don't have API access enabled this second for the platform users, although for our enterprise users, we do. Just so everyone knows, if you want to work with us in a more custom way, you can talk to our enterprise team, which has so many bells and whistles that are not available on the platform. So a lot of new features. So yes, Keith, definitely possible. And Corey, I'm actually out of Istanbul. So I'm from New York, but we have a lot of the team here in Turkey. So I'm here to be close to the team. Also, it's a really fun place to be. Okay, cool. So let's see. Okay, it's still processing. Let me see if there are any more questions in the meantime. All right. Well, that's processing. I'll tell you a little bit more about our roadmap. GIFs is something we have. This has been widely requested, kind of a no-brainer. Well, I could send out a video over email and embeds, and that's great, but I want that thumbnail to be a GIF. So that's something we'll be adding in. Merhaba, Corey. My Turkish is not very good, so hope you don't speak Turkish. Also, we're adding in, so you can have a GIF. That's cool, but what about like subtitles? So imagine like a bracket, like name, how's it going? Or hey, name, how's it going? Having that as subtitles in the thumbnail as well, because when you send that out, that's a cue, a visual cue to the person in the thumbnail or the GIF. This is personalized for me. I'll click on it. Otherwise, you don't really know if it is personalized for you, right? If there's no visual cue. What's nice about background mode is it does provide that visual cue as well. Okay, so Corey asks, can you show us where you're sitting to where your camera is so we can have an idea of where to be? Okay. Yeah. So, I mean, I would say I'm about, let's see here. roughly 3.5, 4 feet from this camera here. Um, and you don't have to be that far. And like I said, a lot of this is experimentation. And as our AI model, you can be a lot closer. So for example, 2, maybe 2.5 weeks, we're pushing out an update where you can be much closer. But how it is today, I would say about, experiment with it, but 3 to 4 feet tends to be pretty good. Okay, looks like this process probably still uploading to Vimeo. I'll just give it another minute here. Another really cool thing that we have coming out are custom landing pages. So as I just generated this video, right, and I can share the link over email or SMS. Now, what if I wanted to collect some user data on that page, right? So maybe I want to have the video, and then I want to have an input box to say put in your phone number. I want to have a Calendly embed so people can book a meeting right on that video page. So just removing as much friction as possible from the process. So that's coming up as well. Then we have a whole revamp of our UI. So the UI you see here, it's not, it works, it's good, but we're coming out with a new UI that is much more friendly for campaigns and like making videos that you are going to be sending out often and tracking analytics. So much more marketing friendly. Yeah, exactly right. So if you were to use your iPhone, exactly, recommend putting it on a tripod a couple feet away. Okay, so let's check out this video and let me see if I can get the sound to work this time if I share the right tab. So just finishing uploading to Vimeo. Benefits of using the S3 links is, of course, they're going to be ready in like half the time because they don't have to, go through Vimeo's upload process. Okay, there it is. So as you can see, it took a screenshot of my LinkedIn. I'll play this. Let's see if you can hear sound. Hey, Don. How's it going? Don from BHuman here. And I have some good news. I just went ahead and added a free month onto. So you can see we told it 5 seconds in, show this screenshot for 5 seconds and then show something else. And that's what it did. And I could, get as creative with this as I want. I could say, show LinkedIn for 5 seconds, show this website from 5 seconds to 10 seconds, then show me for 3 seconds, then show this for 5 seconds, right? So, totally up to you. I'll put this link in the chat as well so you can watch it. Okay. Awesome. So that's a little sneak peek of our roadmap. We do have more, but we're keeping it a little bit private for now because we have some really incredible things in the R&D pipeline. So yeah, with that being said, if there are any questions at all, now would be a good time to ask them. Anything about BHuman, the platform, integrations, or the roadmap. Just give it another minute here, and then we'll call it for this live stream. Yeah. Yeah. And, I recommend to everybody test this, experiment as much as possible. Like, for example, if you use ChatGPT, right, you know that your first phrase, the first time you use it, right, it's not really going to get you good results. You have to sort of learn what it likes to hear. It sounds strange, but think of the AI as like almost an individual autonomous being, right? And how can we interact with that in a way that's going to give us good results? So, play with it, experiment as much as possible. use our live chat. We get back to live chat requests. We try to get back within 5 minutes. And we have like, I think like 16 hours of coverage throughout the day, Monday to Friday. So we try to do as best as we can there. Mark, I'll reply to you. So you can reach out. I'll reply in the chat. Don at BHuman.ai. Good place to get in touch. So for using LinkedIn, so you can access that on the free trial. So when you go to clone myself on the platform, you can start a 7-day free trial. We don't charge a card. You can cancel before it actually ends 7 days after. Yeah, I mean, the reason for this is we just have hard costs. So we make sure we don't, go bankrupt in the process of growing. So, but yep, you can do that. Do we need to do all the voice cloning with the short phrases? Trying to understand your question here, Corey. Oh, yeah. So when you do voice cloning, you do have to record 25 phrases. So it takes about, I actually did it just before this live stream. It took me about like 5-6 minutes. It used to be 60 phrases. We brought it down to 25. So, I mean, we have a lot of people using it right now. I mean, yeah, we're approaching tonight. We'll probably hit 19,000 users, which is just crazy, given that 30 days ago I probably had like 200. So, we have people every industry you could imagine using this and getting amazing results. And word of mouth is really the only way we're growing right now. We don't spend a cent in advertising. Take your time, Corey. No rush. So yeah, Nassim, I'd recommend you dig in, experiment. I mean, I think the key thing to take away is this is a really cool, powerful tool, but you have to follow the guidelines. You have to play with it and find what works. And then once you get something that really works well, then you could scale it for your business. So on the celebrity side right now, we only have two. We have David Henry from How I Met Your Mother, and we have Jay Jackson from Parks and Rec. So we're working on expanding this out, getting more. So yeah, but to be frank, I mean, the focus has really been on giving you the technology to clone yourself. Yep, definitely. So working on adding more actor templates. If you have any actors you'd like to see on there, let us know. I'll try to get to their agent. Okay, so I'll give it another minute for any last questions. Once we upload our videos, will our team members be able to share our clones? Yes. I completely forgot. Let me share my screen here. We have a new feature out called the team feature. Yeah, this is the right screen. So if I go into my settings here and I go to team, I can go ahead and I can add in people here. So I could say, maybe I want Michael and BHuman to be able to join my team. That invite was sent out. And so what happens here is he gets an email and he has to have a BHuman account. So make sure that whoever you invite, they sign up for a free BHuman account first. But he gets an email saying, hey, Don just invited you to join his team. And all he has to do is go into the platform, go to settings, go to team, and then you see this workspace here. He'll have an option. He'll have his workspace with his videos, his templates, his quota, his plan, his everything. And then he'll have the team workspace. That's, your workspace. And so he can select that and then he'll see, all your videos, all your actors. He can generate videos basically through your account and it's going to take from your billing and your quota. So, that's a great way to add people to your team and, basically collaborate on this together. So Nassim, we use Vimeo by default, but we can also give you the S3 link as well, like I was mentioning, which will probably be ready. Probably end of this week, we'll show that, enable it for the platform. At which point you could host it on your own server, you could upload it to other places, basically do whatever you like with it. So they don't. However, based on what plan you're on, that determines how many people you can add to your team. So, if I'm not mistaken, on our $39 plan, basically there's no room for teams. On the $99 plan, you can add one person. On the top plan, which is 150 a month, the ultimate plan, you can add two people. And if you want to add more team members, you simply pay $8 per month per team member. And when you add them, they get basically the ability to do another voice clone. So basically, think of it like a user seat, right? So you can add them to your team, and they can clone their own voice, because we do limit how many voices you can clone on your account. So we add that for you. All right. So, any last questions, especially from Corey, who's been giving us some great questions today? Can you repeat the team members again? Yeah, sure thing. So, all you'd have to do, let's say you're in the platform, right? You want to invite your team here. So, you go to settings, do that by clicking here, settings, and then you have all these different options, right? Profile, plan, Zapier, blah, blah, blah. Go ahead and hit team. And then from here, all you have to do is see where it says your team, add another team member here, click that, and then put in their email. Now, let's just say, for example, it's Julia at BHuman.ai. Okay. Now, what Julie would have to do is she'd have to go on BHuman, make a free account. It takes 10 seconds to sign up. And then from her free account, all she has to do is the same process. Basically, go in here, go to settings, go to team, and then where it says current workspace, if she clicks this drop down, she'll have another option. She'll see her workspace, so Julia at BHuman.ai workspace, but she'll also see my workspace, so Dawn at BHuman.ai workspace. And when she clicks on that, basically she enters into the team workspace, if you will. It's like she basically has access to everything that you see. And you could do that for 10 people on your team, 30 people on your team. So you could all basically work out of the same account, even though you have different logins. Sure. So on the no problem. Yeah, on the growth plan, there's no team feature basically. And then on the scale plan, which is $99, you can invite one person to your team. So there's two seats. On the ultimate plan, you can invite two people to your team. So you and then two other people. So three people in general, three users on your account. And then if you want additional team members, all you have to do is pay $8 per month per team member. So let's say you want two additional seats. So you're a team of five people and you want everyone to be able to access BHuman and use your plan. Then you have to pay for two additional seats, $16 additional a month, and then you can invite those two other users. So Nassim, in terms of a white label plan, we've gotten a lot of requests for this. We don't have anything like out of the box yet where you can just upload your logo and then you get access to everything that BHuman has to offer with your logo on it. However, we do give you huge capacity and capability with our APIs, which we'll be releasing docs for that towards the end of the week. Um, so you can use that basically to build your own front end, or maybe you have a platform and you want to integrate BHuman into some parts of it. Let's say you have an outreach platform for HR and you want to use BHuman to send videos as like an option for your higher tiers. Well, using our APIs, you could integrate that into your front end. So we don't offer a traditional out of the box plug and play white label today, but we do offer those APIs so you can do what you like with it. So Corey asks, where you're sitting right now, um, with your laptop and your webcam, would that suffice? The answer is yes. So Corey, the reason I have it like this is because first we have that distance, right? So we have about 3.5 feet away from the webcam. What's also nice is that I'm recording the audio from my laptop right here, which is the same microphone that I cloned my voice on. So we have the distance, we have the same when I'm recording my video and when I clone my voice, we have the same environment, same room, same microphone. So yes, in this case, it would work. And then let's see, yeah, I'm in Istanbul. Yep. We have, let's say maybe 40% of our team based out here. Everyone else is spread all over from New York to Montreal to Barcelona to Beijing. Yeah. So Corey said that he had some issues where basically like when attempting to record names, it kept circling. So Corey, I believe that the manually record, like the ability to manually record names, to be totally transparent, I believe it was offline for a couple days because we were doing some updates to the back end. But I know that we're very close to getting it back online, or it already is back online. So let me check with the team and get back to you on that. I'll just send you a direct message on Instagram after the stream. Oh, Nassim, you're in Antalya. Oh, nice. Absolutely. Yeah, definitely get a coffee. Just send me a message about that. That'd be great. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining in for our first live stream. Apologies for the technical difficulties on the sound. The idea is we'll do this basically 3 times a week. So, if you have any questions or you want to, learn how something works, you can just join the live stream, and we could all chat about it together. So, Corey asks, can I record from my laptop where you're sitting and not another camera? Oh, are you saying can I like if I use my laptop camera to record my face? It would probably not make for the best results because it's pretty close. I'd recommend experimenting with it. Give it a shot. I have done videos that close and they worked out really well, but it's kind of like the lighting was just right, which is kind of hard to define what is the just right lighting. So that's why a good distance most of the time is just an easy fix. So you could try it, but probably you're going to get better results from a 3 or 4 feet away. All right, excellent. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for joining this live stream, our first one. We'll do 3 of these a week, so you can always join in. We'll do it Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Sorry, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday at the same time. So I'll make the events for that. If you have any questions, use our live chat. Nassim, feel free to send me a direct message, and Corey, we'll chat as well after. I'll get back to you on the manually recorded audios. And yeah, thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you on the platform. Take care.